Okay, here's the sober review I was meant to do with this. I finally got around to doing it. It's a Husqvarna 525 RS brush cutter. This is their brush cutter of this particular series. The next series up is like the bigger 34 and 44cc engines. A lot bigger, way a lot more, and it has the weird anti-vibe handlebar. This one's not so bad. Thought I'd do a bit of a review for the more for the Australian market. I don't know if there's anything different between these and the other ones. It does this California on the side, so it might be the same as the American. I couldn't tell you. So what do you get? What do you get for 800? They're about 830 bucks at the moment to go buy one of these. I've had this one for about 2 weeks now, and I've used to have a couple of Japanese made MTDs, the big Echoes, like the big brush cutter Echoes with the big cylinder on them. Had an Altanica at one point, a couple of Mitsubishi, so that's what I'm judging all this stuff on. You know, never had a steel, so I tell a lie, I had a steel which never ran, but the old boxy American looking one, which was more of a whippersnipper or trimmer, as you like the Americans like to call it. But my uncle's got a new equivalent one of these, like a MK or something, 95. I can't quite tell you, but it's the 2-stroke one, not the 4 mix. So it's more comparable to one of these, because this is one of these X-Torque. X-Torque? That doesn't say the back, but these are an X-Torque cylinder. So these are about 25cc. The difference between these and the standard trimmer version of this is the ratio is different in the head. A trimmer is more essentially to like a 1 to 1 or 1.5 to 1. Well, this is actually 2 to 1. So this engine's being at 10,000 RPM. It's 26cc, but because it's doing the double to 1 rotation, which is more like a 50 plus cc engine. So does the job. I've been brush cutting it. I've brush cut nearly an acre of grass with it, and yeah, I've bogged down a few, but the grass was that thick it wasn't funny, you know. It wasn't this stuff, it was big weedy stuff that you got to kick it around. I am running a steel cutter on the end at the moment, only because there's a local steel up the corner here, the one of the biggest in the area. So it's the same arbor. In all fairness, it's the same thing, you know. But that brush bait cut's good. Why did I pick this over the steel of the same class? What you're looking at buying in the steel to one of these is that they get to that stage where they got that 4-cycle engine, which is like a 2-stroke to a 4-stroke. I've got a big Honda. I've got a 425 around the back, and I've seen those steels before, and it's like, it's fine as a 4-stroke, but as a 2-stroke, it's saying not quite right. So, and I don't think you're getting what you're paying for. Now, this is nice and light. These steels are heavy. Plus, they got plastic cam gears in them, and that's just a nightmare waiting to happen. Well, what do you get when you buy one of these? Well, you get a trimmer head cover, which is for the trimmer head. You get one with the ball bearing in it. This holds about 8 meters, up to 8 meters of 2.5 and it can hold 2.7 mil. You probably could fit 3 mil in, but I wouldn't recommend it. You know, these are nice heads. They're easy to rewind. I hate these with a vengeance. I used to have a Tanica plate for years, just about or a council plate they used to call them. I used to wrap it around and manually move them, but that's probably the first one I've actually liked in one of those, so that's a good thing. That's just the cover on the brush cutter head. That comes with it too. What else? You get a standard harness. It's a standard harness. It fits alright. You know, Get your wear plate. It's a very easy quip. I can't fault it. I have given a bit of a wearing to it because this was sharp when you get them. You might have to file this part down because that will wear on here, as you can see. You get a nice cardboard box. A tool which is not present in the box is a spark plug wrench. It's got a torque fitting on the end of it, so you can use it on your chainsaws if you want, but it's all for the torque fittings. But it must be in the car. Come on. You get an Allen key and a pin. This pin is for changing the head. There's a pin you just slot in. Let's see where it is. There's a hole there. It goes down into there and locks in. And that lets you take the bolt off the bottom. That's a left-hand thread. There's the other head of this. There you get two of these. One's bigger than the other. That's a high visibility trimmer head. And that's for your brush cutter. So this you can use the cord on it. They both got the cutter on them. It's easy under there. They do work. You know, here's a bit more restrictive, but when you're brush cutting, it helps feed it out. It actually works quite well. There's a simple screw. You undo that screw. It's a captive screw. I think it's a captive screw. And this just cams out and you cam a new one in. It's actually quite an easy setup. I actually like that setup. Put it back in there, don't lose him. You get a brush blade with it. This comes with it standard. They're about $34 to buy them. They work alright. They spin up nicely. They're very smooth compared to the tri-blade. They don't cut the heavy stuff as good, but if it's grass, you'll slice right through it like butter. You know, they bounce off things quite. Just don't hit the ring lock on the fence because it will cut a hole in the ring lock. Don't mind that. That's a blackberry blade. That's not with that. You get that, and that's pretty. And let's see. Well, that's kind of it. Oh yeah, warranty comes with it. When you buy these new, they come with a 3-year warranty. But if you buy 20 litres of the new Husqvarna low smoke, they say new, the new stuff's an FD class oil, they up your warranty an extra 2 years when you register. So you actually get 5 years domestic warranty on one of these, which is good for me because I'm gonna push it to its limit. But probably in 5 years' time, I'm probably still going to have it. There's, you know, something standard on it. You know, here's your choke, starter. You know, nothing too fancy. It's got a Warblow carb on it, which is nice. A genuine Warblow. I think they're a Japanese Warblow by memory. You get a foam pre-filter. See, it's all picking up stuff. It's doing its job. Dusty. And these come with a paper filter too, a paper element filter. So it's actually got 2 filters, not like just a 1 filter, which is nice. You know, it doesn't get too dusty around here because I'm pretty coastal. But you know, it will get dusty eventually. So if you're using one of these in a combi system, which has got the leaf blower attachment and all that stuff, or the dirt cultivator, well, actually I shouldn't say recommend because cultivators are pretty gutsy for any unit. It's just up to fine dust. You know, we get a little bit of it here in Australia. Now you get a genuine Warblow. The service on these is either, they say for the first 3 hours, sorry not first 3 hours, the first 3 months, or the first 5 hours operation, then you bring it in for your first service. You get a free service, I believe. Then they tune everything up. No, I've only put 5 hours on it now. Heck, I think I put more than 5 hours on it now. But I haven't had a problem with it. It was a bit of a mung to start when I first got it. But no, since then, it's really upped the compression on it. Everything's nice and embedded in. You know, and I've had about 5-6 hours full throttle. Just full throttle cutting. So at 10,000 RPM by about 5 hours, you're looking at over 3 million revolutions of this engine so far, just going up and down. I have to work out what the stroke is. I like to know what the measurement is, but yeah, she's putting up good. I'll do an update later on. Would I buy? If you've got a thought to buying a steel over one of these, I'll go one of these. These weigh nothing. It's all magnesium, light aluminium, and it's reinforced plastic where it's meant to be. It ain't like an old FS steel. Heck, some of the old ones, you know, you use them for 10 minutes and it's like, I'm over this. You know, I'll pick this up if I pick up the Honda. My mate's got a 43cc ROK, ROK. It's just a Chinese unit and it's twice as heavy as this. You know, it's 43cc, you know, it's got a bit of torque to it, but there's no refinement. This is nice and refined. There's no bugger all vibration. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's much anti-vibe on it, but the way everything moves and springs a bit, it doesn't hurt my hands. My hands are susceptible to it. So, if you want any ideas or questions, happy to ask. They take 50 to 1, 91 unleaded. You can buy any Caltex or BP. Prefer the BP stuff if you can get it from a busy servo. Yeah, mix it 50 to 1 or 45 to 1, or it's 32 to 1 semi-synthetic FC or FD class oil. If it's not non-husqvarna. So your eco stuff will be fine. Keep away from the steel stuff. That's only an FB oil. I won't touch a steel oil ever again if I can. I even use that in the Victors. That's all I use it for, and because I got a little left over. But no, use the right oil. You should have this for years. It's really well made. You know, that's reasonably well made, and that's made of plastic. Now, I don't expect me breaking that anytime soon. My mate just broke his only about 2 days ago, but that was only Chinese thing. It just went pink. But this one's actually well made, and the bounce is really nice. You know, I've got this bounce at the moment with the harnesses on. It floats off the ground, and you can do all day with it. So I thought I'd leave you guys with that, of my thoughts on the 525 RS. You know, easy to start, easy to prime. What more can you want?